What's up, guys? CryptoSavvy here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the Dow Jones Industrial and see why I think they're still linked. A lot of people say that Bitcoin is decoupling. I don't believe so. Not yet. You guys know I am a full bore, 100% long-term bull, but I do believe people are getting a little too bullish here. I could be wrong. We will take a look at both scenarios. Definitely don't forget to check out the Discord in the description below the video. Let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it. And always remember, this is my opinion, not yours. Let's get into the headlines and kind of check the sentiment. Bitcoin price analysis. Bitcoin rallies to 6,800. Why? Let's see what that says. Why breakdown to 6,400 in the offing. Bitcoin stuck in bearish trend as the new month begins. Ethereum founder tells Bitcoin dev Bitcoin wasn't always meant to be physical or digital gold. Decoupling. Bitcoin price surges above 6.7K as stocks fall. Now, if you pay attention, it follows the traditional markets while they're open. When it closes, Bitcoin usually rallies, but when the Dow Jones or traditional markets go down, it usually follows it. So usually at close, that's when we get our pump. It's like Bitcoin is trying to get up so it can handle the next dump of the traditional markets. That's just my opinion, but we'll take a look at it. So the news is more bearish, so usually that means we'll get a pump, and I do believe we may get a little pump here, and I will show you what I'm looking at. So the fear and greed index, we're at 14. We're up 2 points from yesterday, still in the extreme fear. Let's look at the monthly. So on the monthly, as you can see, it does look kind of like a bullish candle forming, but it's super early, the second day of the month. So if we look at the 21 EMA, we're right around the $7,200 range. If we do pump, I believe that'll probably be the highest that we get. If we break above the 7,200, then I'm getting a little more bullish, but I don't believe that'll happen, and I will show you what I am looking at. If you look here, the EMAs, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. The EMAs here, the 21 EMA has crossed the 55 down on this weekly candle. If we can pump this week, that will erase that, and we may see, you know, some major gains. I don't believe so. I still want to point out that this $2,570 range is still possible, which is a long-term trend line. I will show you some measured moves that also come up with that. Guys, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that's the worst case scenario. If we look here, the 200 EMA on the weekly is sitting right around the 5,400. That's been a big zone for us, and we'll also take a look at that. Let's take a look at the RSI on the weekly. We've been keeping an eye on this red line here, which is a support and resistance line all the way back to the 2014 where we capitulated below it, broke back above, got support. Same thing in 18, broke below, excuse me, broke back above, got support, and we are lingering above it now. That is a good sign. As of right now, it's, you know, as long as we can close the weekly above here, we're good, but that's not to say we rally. Let's take a look at the daily. So something I wanted to point out in the daily is, as you can see, we're getting lower highs in the price action, and if we zoom into the RSI, we're getting higher highs in the RSI. That's hidden bearish divergence. We did close right here yesterday, so that does confirm hidden bearish divergence. If we do get a pump or a rally, I believe it's going to be short-lived, and I will explain why. Although the EMAs are turning bullish, the 8 has crossed the 13. We are getting support on the 21 in the daily. This 6,400 has been, that's also the 0.382 retracement fib, but that's been support. I still believe, guys, that we're coming down to this 5,400 area sooner than later. And if we look here, if this daily did pump all the way up here to the 55 EMA, which would retest this rising wedge here, that's going to be around the 73 to 7400. We also have the 0.5 fib here at 7200. I would expect some rejection there if we were to make it that high. Again, guys, I don't think that we're going to. Let's take a look at the measured moves here. So we talked about that 2571, and if we look here, looking at this as a flag pull, this being a bear flag, which we pop down, and it's not so much looking at that. It's tough here, guys. But anyways, that would get us to 2571. Like I said, I don't believe that is happening. But if we measure this wedge right here at the widest point to where we broke down is the 4250 range, and that's if that 54 doesn't hold. There's a possibility the 54 will hold. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at as of right now. We are above the smaller EMAs, 21, 13, and 8 right now, and getting support. But like I said, we do have that hidden bearish divergence. Also, as you can see, the volume is still declining. So this may not be correct, this rising wedge, and I'll show you what it could possibly be. Let me get in here, get my triangle out. If I know a lot of people are looking at it like this, like a ascending triangle. It is definitely a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. And if we did a measured move on that, we would have to break above the 60. I'll show you my target in here in a minute in the 4 hour, but that gets us all the way up to around the, what is that? Right around the $9,900 range. So that's a possibility if this is an ascending triangle. I don't believe it is. I think people are getting way too bullish. But again, guys, that's my opinion. You got to make up your own mind. I am showing the bullish and the bearish case scenario. Let me get this out of here. So, yeah, if we do come up and retest this and confirm this is a rising wedge, I still am looking at these lower lows. I still believe we get at least back down to at least retest this 54. And in my honest opinion, I don't think it's going to hold. People don't, I don't know. There's a lot going on in the world, as you all know, most of you are probably trapped in your house. I'm fortunate enough to be essential and still working. So let's take a look at the 4 hour. So as you can see, I showed this in the Discord last night. Just a reminder, join the free Discord. It's totally free. Great community. Bulls and bears in there, so you can get both views. Also, I drew this in there, this blue channel. I do believe, if you look at the 4 hour, the 200 EMA is lining up right around here between the 6950 and the 6970 range. I see a major rejection there. I do think we'll rally to at least up here around the $7,000 range. But I do see a rejection. And if you look, we had a rejection here. This will be 3. That'll be a triple top. That's pretty damn bearish. I do think we'll continue down from there. Again, my opinion, not yours. And let's take a measured move. If that was to happen, say we came up. Say we come up, get our rejection up here, come back down. And depending on where we break here, let's do a measured move off that. Let's say we broke right there. That would get us back down to the $5,800 range. And again, like I said, I do believe if we come back, if we break this bottom line here, I believe we're coming down to that 5,400. I'm still pretty confident in that. Although, like I said, you got to make up your own mind. Don't take anybody off the internet's opinion. If we do break this top line, then then we're looking at the 7,200, possibly all the way up to 7,700. That has been there's a lot of confluence in there all the way across the board. It is a possibility that we go retest that. But we would have to break this $7,000 range to even think about that. And then the 72, of course, is our 0.5 fib here. 0.5 fib. So anyways, like I said, guys, I'm still bearish here. And I know a lot of people, every time we get a little pump, people get really excited. But if you zoom out, it's really nothing happening. So try not to get too excited until we break some key levels. But as of right now, like I said, I'm still bearish unless we break the $7,000 range, and then I will switch a little bullish. If we look at the RSI, we had this rising or falling broadening wedge. We are peeking out of the top of it. We could get a run up here. which would match up pretty good with that $7,000 range. So keep that in mind. If we do get up to the 7,000, I do think we're going to get some major rejection there. Although the EMAs look pretty bullish, but if you look over here, same thing, they were pretty bullish, and then it just kind of died out. And I believe that's most likely what's going to happen here. Get this out of the way. We will take a look at Litecoin and Ethereum and the Dow Jones. It will be opening in an hour and a half from right now when I'm doing this video. You guys will be seeing it a little bit later. But we are getting a nice little pump here. We're at 67.15. Like I said, look for that $7,000 range, and I assume that we're going to get a huge rejection there. Oh, if you guys are interested in trading, I'm going to leave a DOW tutorial up top. They have a risk management tool in there that's awesome, especially if you're new to trading. And we are doing a trading competition. If you join my Discord in the description below, there is a room for it in there, and it's explaining the details. I'll be releasing more later. There will be prizes for the winners, so definitely check it out if you guys are interested. Make sure you join the free Discord and check it out. Yeah, that's where I'm at with Bitcoin, guys. Possibly run up to the $7,000 range, and then I expect rejection. This is my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. Great way to support the channel, guys, along with all the links down below. Check it out. There's hardware wallets, Brave browser, exchange links that give you bonuses if you guys are into that. But yeah, check out her webpage. She can put anything you want on here. It doesn't have to be just what you see. It's quality stuff, not junk. Check it out, and let's look at Litecoin. All right, same thing with Litecoin, guys. You guys know we have this major resistance here at 41.45. We have the 200 EMA up here at the $44 range. If we're able to break this 41.40, yeah, the 41.40 range, I believe we will come retest this, as this looks like a rising wedge that we have broke down from. We may retest the bottom before continuing down, and I have some measured moves here. But this also, just want to point this out, this also could be a rising or ascending triangle also. And if we did a measured move on that, let's see, if it was to break up past this, past the $45 range, we could be looking to go as high as $58 range. So yeah, that's if this ends up being an ascending triangle, which is possible. By looking at the volume, it's still declining. But guys, I still am looking at this as everybody's getting way too bullish in my opinion, and this was a rising wedge. The measured move down from there, measuring the wedge, is actually, let me put this, make sure I got this measured right in here, to where we broke down is around the $22 to $23 range. Although I do have this support line here, which was old resistance all the way back, this orange line, and that would be support around the 27.82. And then if I looked at this as a bear flag, which I'm thinking that's less and less likely, but looking at this as a flag pull to where he broke down, could go down as low as 14 bucks. If we look at the RSI in the 4 hour, like I said, we broke down out of this rising channel. We most likely come up and test the top of this white channel here, which would get us up to between the 41, and if that 41 broke, the $44 to $45 range, which is also the 200 EMA, guys. But I still, and that's in the 4 hour, but I still am bearish here. I don't care run up or not. And if we look at the pre-markets in the Dow Jones, which we're going to do here in a minute after Ethereum, it's showing that there's probably going to be a little pump in the beginning of the day, which would line up with this, and then a dump. So let's look at Ethereum. All right, same thing with Ethereum. Let me get these lines. I was playing with this earlier. Get these off of here. We're going to take a look at Ethereum. The same thing, as you can see, the rising channel, and the RSI broke down, came up, retested the top of Ethereum already. So most likely, by looking at this RSI, it looks like Ethereum's topped out and going to be heading down, which could be the case. It doesn't have to follow everybody else. Or get a nice little push up, retest this, and come down. And let's look at it in the price action. So in the price action too, if we look at these two highs, we're having a higher high in the RSI, lower high in the price action, hidden bearish divergence. Even though in the 4 hour, the RSIs have crossed over, they look pretty bullish. Could could get a move up. Now, if we retested the top of this or the bottom of this wedge here, that'd be around the $150 range, depending on when we hit it. If we hit it in, 148 to 150 range, the 200 EMA is all the way up at 156. I wouldn't think we'd get that high. If we do break the 150 range, we could be looking to go much higher. But let's take the measured moves here. Looking at that as a wedge that we broke down from, gets me down to around the $72.50 to $73 range. That is my low target here, and I've talked about it before as that being once we get down in this range, a quick wick down to eat up the stops over here being a stop hunt, and then up from there, or less likely, but this could be the flag pull over on this side, this being a bear flag, which it's pretty long to be a bear flag, but just for shits and giggles, 27.34. Yeah, that would be my worst case scenario there. That 72.50 area also lines up with this support line right there pretty well. Well, if it went there, but I guess if we extended it, it's going to be lower if we were to get down to this range. So again, guys, could get a nice little pump here today, but I am bearish overall. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average pre-market, let me reset this and make sure it says up 385 points. That's 1.86% pre-market. And this is what we did yesterday. If you guys follow the channel, let me go into the daily, and then we'll come back into the 4-hour. If you guys follow the channel, I'll show you my targets if you have not seen them yet. Excuse me. So looking at this rising channel we had up here that we broke through, we had a support at, I don't know why it's gone, but I will put it back over there. We had a support right here around the 23.5. I'm going to make that orange. And it was actually 23.4 something, but yeah, around 23.450. And we broke that, and that was breaking out of that channel. And our measured move from breaking out of that channel is, and I don't know where that went either. I don't know why I must have screwed it up when I was looking at it on my phone. But yeah, the 16.8, 16.9 range. I actually had it at 16.88. But anyways, that is my measured move from there. I do believe we get down to at least this point. I do want to show you from this move here. I have put the Fibonacci retracements on here. We got rejected right here at the 0.382 fib of this move, which was we had marked at the 22.55. Came back down, and we got support on this 618 fib right here yesterday, right at the, it's funny how all that works, but there's a lot of traders watching this, around the 20.8 points, 20,800 points. But as you can see, we got rejected on this 8 EMA here. I do believe today we may see a nice little attempt to rally again. We might get back up to that 22.4, 22.5 range, and another rejection, in my opinion. If we look here, we're getting, this is this high here. We're getting lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI, hidden bearish divergence. Also, guys, this thing I believe is going to dump hard. Will it be today? Don't know. Maybe Friday. But I don't see the Dow getting much further up without coming down to at least the 16.8. And let's take a look at the worst case, or not worst case. It could get even worse. But looking at this as a megaphone here, with this being the support on the bottom, resistance on the top, measured move, which we have already broke, even though we broke back up inside it. But if this 16.8 doesn't hold, I'm looking at the 92 range, guys. And if we zoom over here, the 92 range is right at these old little resistance here, guys. I don't see much of this holding as support over here. I believe this is going to get pretty damn ugly. As you guys know what's going on with the economy right now. The world's pretty much shut down. I don't see how anyone could think that we are just going to rally up from here. It's not going to happen. If we do, the higher we rally, the more I would short it. But anyways, Looking at this as a rising or a falling broadening wedge, we did try to peek out of it unsuccessfully. Let's see. Yeah, it's not looking good, guys. Period. Let's go into the 4-hour real quick, and then so on the 4-hour, just a closer look. The EMAs are crossing bearish again, but like I said in the pre-market, it is up a little bit. We'll know when it opens, but this doesn't look good, guys. It looks pretty bearish. Yeah, it looks pretty bearish, like I said, unless we attempt another rally up to the 22.5 area, but back down. It's not looking good. Definitely not looking good. If it does turn up and break out of this wedge here, we could come up and retest this trend line here. That would be all the way up to our old support that we broke at 23.4. That could happen. I doubt it, but it could happen and then crash from there. But no matter what, I see this thing crashing. Yeah, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to click CryptoSavvy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash that like button. Share the video if you enjoy it and help us get it out there. With that being said, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.